Welcome to the Unstoppable Eventrepreneur podcast. And today's episode, we are going to deep dive into some mindset work and some of the questions that I am going to be asking. And for you to do some homework may be a little uncomfortable, but now that I am a very successful business owner of two very successful business, and I have learned not to be too humble about my success. Hence, I say very successful. A lot of times in the past, I would just suppress myself by talking about how well our business is doing because I don't want to appear boastful. And it has come to my attention that sometimes not acknowledging your own accomplishment is something that is not going to be conducive in building your business. Sometimes you need to have self-validation. And me saying that I am very successful and having two very successful business because they are both multiple six-figure profit business helps me to tell myself that I am doing something right and I'm living my best life. Even I myself have to do some self-pep talk. All right, so today's session, it's more of a mindset session. Again, as I was saying, there will be some questions that I'm asking you that will require you to do some self-reflection and self-audit. But like what I have always said and what I have been teaching all this time, if you want your business to grow, you got to grow first. You got to face up to things that you may not want to face up to. And once you're able to acknowledge the things that you don't want to acknowledge and accept it and work on it, that's when you will see growth. So you need to grow personally before your business can grow. Okay. So today's topic is, are you really giving it all? So what do I mean by that? Okay. Are you really going all in for your business? So many event planners that I have spoken with, even some inside our Unstoppable Eventrepreneur Mentorship Program, they tell me that I've given it all. I have done everything that needs to be done, but why am I still not seeing the results? Okay. If you are really totally honest with yourself, even I do that to myself. I ask myself these questions on the months that the revenue is slow. I ask myself, why is the business revenue dipping or slowing? I ask myself this question, am I really going all in? Am I really doing all the things that I should be doing, that I need to be doing in order to have a consistent revenue flow or in order to hit my revenue goal? Am I really going all in? And when I ask this hard question to myself and without judging my answers, okay, without passing judgment onto myself and just being honest with my answers, first is very liberating because you're acknowledging that you're a human, that you can't be all in all the time, number one. And number two, that you recognize that you are not 100% all in, even though you say you are. And why? Why are you not all in? What's the factors? And how can you do better the next time? Okay, so we are not going to pass any judgment onto ourselves. So when you ask yourself, are you really going all in? You know, my coach, my business coach, used to make this joke, okay, that you say you're going all in, right? So if I were to look at whatever you're displaying out there, okay, that means the efforts that you're making, that people can see that you're actually trying to grow your business, okay? if I'm going to do an audit of what you say you have been going all in, does it tell me or show me evidence that you are really going all in? And at that point in time, when she asked this question, a lot of us went silent because we know that we are not going all in. Okay? So there are a few things that you have to consider, right? What does going all in means to you? So I have to ask myself, what does going all in into my business means? What does that look like in a day? We have to define that. What does going all in means? How does it look like when I give my all to my business, in building my business? So if I have to be honest, that means I am thinking of services, products, activities that's going to have a direct impact to bring in revenue. What does that look like in a day? That means I am going to, in a 24 hours day, okay? How does that look like in a 24 hours day? Of course, out of the 24 hours, I would say 8 hours is used to sleep. So that leaves us 16 hours. Of the 16 waking hours, okay, what am I doing with those 16 waking hours? I would probably say probably 4 to 6 hours is spent on myself, running the household, spending with my family, okay? So that means we have 24 hours, okay? Let's do some math here. So we have 24 hours minus 8 hours for sleeping, minus 6 hours for spending time with my family and spending time on myself, doing some family household chores, okay? That leaves me 10 hours. What am I doing with those 10 hours that I can say I'm going all in into my business, that I'm pouring everything that I have in that business, okay? Now, we're talking about me being a full-time CEO. We can talk about a part-time CEO as well. So a full-time CEO, that means I work 100% on my business, okay? What am I doing with those 10 hours? So let's just say maybe, let's take 2 hours that is for running errands, stuck in traffic, miscellaneous, goofing off, okay? So that gives me 8 hours. What am I exactly doing in that 8 hours? How much time am I dedicating the 8 hours into activities, thoughts? What am I doing with my thoughts, with my action? That is going to have a direct impact on business growth. So I have to think, how much time am I really using every single day to create a thought process, to create a thought process that will allow me to create products and services, strategies, which leads to actions that will bring me the money. How much time am I dedicating in doing client outreach? How much time am I dedicating in creating content that is going to showcase what I do, communicate my value, the results I bring for my client, and to actually have conversations or attempt to have conversations with potential clients, existing clients, and past clients that could lead to sales. And I am ashamed. Well, actually, I couldn't use the word ashamed because we talk about not shaming ourselves, not passing judgment. if I'm being totally honest, those 8 hours, I would probably say that I only use 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours a day to think. Sometimes I spend a lot of time thinking and not taking action. Sometimes I spend a lot of time taking actions, which is great. So if you really take the time, okay, to ask yourself and to do this audit, how many hours are you actually taking action? How many hours are you taking inspired action? Taking action is not good enough. Taking inspired action is what is going to move the success needle. Taking actions by just checking off, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, that means your heart is not there. When your heart is not there, your people can feel it in terms of your content. You're just a robot reading a script. I watched this particular webinar, which is pretty scary, very established, very established event planner, luxury event planner. She was trying to sell her course, her program, to other luxury event planner who wants to up-level their game. And at the end, when she's presenting her offer, it looks like she's reading from a script. Okay? Well, she did what she's supposed to do. She did a sales generating activity. But is it an inspired sales generating activity? I am not so sure, because she was reading a script. I couldn't really feel her. I couldn't really feel her energy and her authenticity. I couldn't really feel who she is as a person. And I can almost guarantee that every single one of you who has followed me all this time, every time when I speak, when I teach, you can feel my frustration, my excitement, my enthusiasm, my passion, my emotions. You can feel that because I never read from a script. I may have pointers, like this, that guide me in what I have to say in terms of to discuss, to dive deeper, the point. But I never read from a script because I am less about being perfect, more about being real. So when you put in your heart, your emotions in carrying out an action, a sales generating action, delivering a message, communicating your value, your expertise, talking about your brand, connecting with people, those are sales generating activities. If you work 1 hour on that, being truly present and less worried about how you come across, that's inspired action. That's going to yield more results than you trying to be perfect. So when I go back and audit my action, out of the 8 hours, how many hours am I actually taking inspired action? And what's the results? I'm astonished. Okay, I am astonished to find out that, oh my God, it doesn't matter how many hours that I actually work. It actually matters. What really matters is those hours that I'm working, how present am I? What are the things that I'm doing? Am I doing nonsensical work that I can say that, oh, I did this, or am I doing inspired action work? So if I don't show up in terms of using those hours in the most effective manner, efficient manner, did I give myself some excuse why I couldn't do it? Did I say that, oh, the environment is not conducive enough? Did I come up with excuses or put the accountability or coming up with, let's just call it, let's just be honest here. Do I blame it on other things? That, oh my God, my daughter is being demanding, my husband is being demanding, the house is so dirty, I need to clean it. If I don't do it, who can do it? All these things, right? Am I putting the blame on others Others include the environment, include the people. Instead of me taking accountability to myself, that I defy all odds, okay? That means sometimes you don't really feel like it, you're super tired, but you find that 1 ounce of energy to connect to your why, to connect to your picture of going all in, and you show up for that 1 minute in creating that 1 minute video, all right? And you no longer give yourself any excuses, that you truly show up for that 1 minute. I applaud you. And I applaud myself when I did that. Because instead of dragging that 1 hour of doing that 1 hour activity, I said, script that 1 hour of, I have to do this, you know, despite everything. I'd rather not spend that 1 hour. I spend that 1 minute and I become fully present and I create the content. I reach out, talk to people, and I'm fully present. That's my giving it all. That is my version of giving it all. So I wouldn't be too tied up about how many hours you work in a day. That shows you're giving it all. But I will pay more attention to, am I really giving it all when I do this activity, regardless of how many hours I work on the business. Okay? You can work all day long, but that all day long, are you really working? Are you really present? If you are not, you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, then you're not really giving it all. So the question I ask myself, okay, in summary, am I really giving it all in my business? A lot of times I can proudly say that I am giving it all because I think about the business all the time. I think about all the things that I need to do, that I feel aligned to do, that I feel that I can take inspired action, not because it's a to-do list. I think about those activities that I should be doing that is aligned to my happiness, to how I can show up being fully present. I think about all those things all the time. I not only think about that, I think about when can I do it, as in like taking action, like physically doing it. Okay, I check in with myself, my emotions. Do I feel like reaching out today? If I don't feel like reaching out today, then I don't do it. But I have to make sure that I need to allocate time tomorrow. I'm going to ask myself the question again, do I feel like doing it? But the self-awareness is key when asking yourself, are you really going all in? You got to have that self-awareness, and you got to ask yourself, why are you procrastinating to do certain things? Why? Is it because you really don't believe that action is going to yield results? And that's one thing that I ask myself all the time. Why do I hesitate to talk to this particular potential client? Why do I hesitate to talk to this current client? Why do I hesitate to do the follow-up? Is it because I really don't want to serve these people? Is it because I don't believe that what I have to offer them is going to help them? I take the time to ask myself, why am I not going all in? So when I ask myself these questions, I come up with an answer of, am I blaming the environment for not being able to show up? Or is there something more behind that? Okay, is there something more behind the environment or the excuse? And this is the type of self-audit that sometimes you may come up with answers that you don't like because you start to judge yourself. So there's one scenario where I asked myself this, and I came out with an answer as a self-realization that because I don't really believe in I don't really believe in wanting to sell that particular product or that service because I already make the assumption that these people are not going to benefit from it. And it scares me that I pass judgment to these people. And it also scares me that how did I create a product that I don't believe in? And yet I created it, right? So I have to go back to the drawing board and assess, where did these emotions come from? And you may be surprised, these little things that you come up after you do some self-audit and self-reflection will impact how you continue to grow in your business or not grow in your business. And it's a very scary thing to do, because the very first thing that is going to happen is you're going to pass judgment on yourself, that you're lazy, that you're an imposter and nothing that you're doing is working, or you come up with all kinds of trash talk, or you come up with blank, you don't have any answers, and then you get scared, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, because you don't have an answer. Eventually, if you dig deep enough, you will always have an answer. But it's when are you ready to face up to that answer? That is what's the scary part. And when you are ready to face up to the answer, that's when you're really going all in, because you're not afraid to face up to the reality. You're not afraid to face up to what people have to say to you, and learn from it, and not judge yourself and judge others. So today, this topic is a heavy topic in terms of, are you going all in, and all the mindset work that you have to do in order to come up with the answer. Don't be so quick to say, yes, you have gone all in, and don't be so quick to say, no, I could do better. After you say, no, I could do better, you have to ask, in what way can you do better? And how come you're not doing better? How are you going to make sure that you do better? These are the self-reflection questions that you have to ask yourself, and then be ready to accept the answer that you give to yourself, and not just accept the answer that you give to yourself, but to take action to correct or better the behavior, so it's moving you forward and not getting you stuck. Okay? All right. Again, very heavy topic. And a lot of times, we don't know why we are getting stuck. Okay? It's because we don't want to face up to reality. We don't want to face up to the answer that we give to ourselves. And we constantly seek new things to help us to get unstuck. And somehow, every time you seek a new thing that gets you unstuck, you go back to square one. That's because you did not focus on the truth. So, if you need help in that perspective, okay? If you need help in the perspective, and you're ready to accept the truth, and you are ready to get help, then perhaps it's time for us to have a chat. We are launching a 12 weeks curriculum that is going to give you a taste of what entrepreneurship is like, give you the opportunity to face up to why you're getting stuck, and to give you resources to learn from a different perspective, and to give you the hands-on support to get you through by helping you implement. And when you are ready to take the next big step, which is to do a lot more mindset work, inner growth, so that you can grow before your business grow, then we graduate into our Unstoppable Eventrepreneur Mentorship Program, which we will work closely together to work on not just the strategy and the tactics, but the mindset work that is needed, the constant self-audit. So the 12 weeks curriculum is a prerequisite to let you have a taste what needs to be done, the very beginning of inner work, mindset work, and the real actual strategy that you need to implement. And then we graduate from that to go into the Unstoppable Eventrepreneur. So if you want to learn more about that, reach out to me, May at eventsforanyone, 4, anyone.com. or follow me on my Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, everything. TikTok is @MayyoSilvers. Send me a message and then let's chat how we can help you to face up to your own demons and to take the next big step or baby step to help you to get out of where you are, that funk you are in, if you are in that funk, to get you to move forward. Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. And probably this is something that you want to be able to listen to it many times and ask yourself those questions I've asked myself. And that's the work that I've been doing in order to get me to where I am today. It's a constant work. It's not a one time and done. It's a constant work. When they say new level, new devil, they're not joking. Okay. So I look forward to hearing from you. I'm here to help. It is my calling to help all of you to live your best life, doing what you love, because I have been blessed with that. And every day I work on that. And I want to be able to help you as well. So if you know of anyone who can benefit from our help, please share the episode. Please tell them about our podcast. Tell them about me. Tell them about the work we do. Tell them about the weekly tutorials that we do for free. And if we are the right match for them and they're the right match for us, there's a possibility that we can work together. Please share the message. I will talk to you again next week. Don't forget to rate our podcast, to give us a review, and also to share our podcast. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.